Why would you play a video game that has very little video to it? Why would you play a game that you really can't control the combat, let alone actually see the combat? Well, I'll tell you why you would want to play this game. But first, let's talk a little bit about this game. It's a game called Roadwarden. And yes, it's a text-based adventure RPG where you play as a Roadwarden. Now, a Roadwarden sort of works as like an independent third-party mercenary that is essentially sent to keep the peace in a certain area. And for you, you have this whole peninsula, which honestly might as well be hell. But even a Roadwarden in general in a better place doesn't usually have a long lifespan. The world that this game takes place in has a ton of creatures roaming around. The undead are something that you have to worry about. Not to mention the fact that there's just bandits everywhere. There doesn't seem like to be any real overarching government or law that steps in. Every little area has their own rules and their own governance that they go by, which in some ways might seem cool, but on the other side, nobody's actually patrolling anything outside of their city walls. So the open road is just a breeding ground for nasty creatures, highwaymen, and the undead. And the only way that these different settlements actually communicate is usually through some tradesmen that pass through, outside of you. This is sort of your job. You patrol this whole entire peninsula trying to keep the peace. And to make things worse, you actually don't get paid. You're not given a salary. You have to figure out how to earn your money while you're out there. Even though one of the main reasons you're there is to keep the roads clear so that merchants are able to pass through and they keep the settlements going. But still, these settlements don't hook you up. They don't hand you some food or armor or nothing. So often you have to take on separate quests to earn money, to earn food, or even while you're patrolling, try to find different ruins where you can do a little bit of treasure hunting. And believe it or not, it's actually this dynamic that makes this game so good, because you have the freedom to essentially do what you want. If you want to just ignore any of the settlement's problems and just be out for yourself, you actually can be. Do you want to be a complete prick and essentially take advantage of everyone you meet? You actually can. And it is this freedom as to why you should check out text-based games, because while they don't really fill up their memory with a lot of visuals or anything like that, there is a lot of complexity to them. You have options in how you talk to people, and not just one or two things. There can be complete branches of conversations and dialogue that you can essentially unlock by just choosing what you say differently. And this is why one of the things that I love about this game is I bet if you put 10 people in a room playing this game, they will all have 10 different experiences. Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain like milestones or events that do happen that are meant to happen in every playthrough, or just about every playthrough it seems. I've only had a couple playthroughs, and a good chunk of the time I died. It's not an easy game, but it's a fun game, and it's something that can really get you locked in. Now, the suspense doesn't come from how quickly can you dodge and attack, and more from what is the right thing to say in this situation. And trust me, this game does get really intense, quite often, honestly. Although I will say that it isn't always the easiest thing to get into. That was probably the most difficult thing for me, was to actually just start the game. There would be so often where I would start, and then I would go through like a page or two of dialogue, and I would kind of start to get distracted by the outside world or something like that. But honestly, when you do actually get locked in, this game is just insanely cool. But honestly, I do have some things to complain about. Number one, just the UI. The ability to interact with this game is not nearly as easy as it should be. Most games, I hate when they have like the mouse icon, but really, this is a game that I think would benefit from that. You see, the way that you can choose options in your inventory or interact with anything in the game is essentially moving your analog stick, and whatever your analog stick is on will be lit up. But not everything lights up all the time. Like, there are so many times where I couldn't find where I was at. Like, am I in the inventory area? Am I in the dialogue side? Like, why can't I find the ability to move and choose the thing I want to choose? So this is why I think like the mouse icon would have helped, because at least you know where it's at. Again, it's kind of annoying. It can be a little bit lethargic at times, but it would still be better than just not being sure where exactly your prompt is or where you are, essentially. Another issue that I had with it is the delay. There would be certain times when I would be in the dialogue and I would hit the A button to accept and it just wouldn't register. And it would take like a couple times before it did. And this isn't something that just happened every now and then. It happened quite a bit. And this can be really annoying, especially if you've already played this part or you've already went through these dialogue options before and you're just kind of trying to skip ahead, and then you're stuck kind of having to wait until it all registers before it'll allow you to skip ahead. It's not game breaking, but over time it really really does get annoying because it is far more common than it should be, at least on the Switch. But outside of those few things, I really enjoyed the game. One of the things that I really liked about it that kept me on my toes is that there's a option when you first start the game to only allow you to play 40 days. So no matter what, the game's going to end in 40 days. You really have to move and make the most of every decision and every minute you have. And of course, as I alluded to before, the writing is just remarkable in this game. So honestly, I would definitely advise picking it up, but it depends like how you feel about these type of games. If you never played a text-based adventure game before, then I would totally check it out. It's worth at least the experience. And honestly, it's only like $8.79 on the eShop. So I mean, it's technically cheaper than a meal at McDonald's. So why not just check it out if you're interested? Now, if you know that this is the type of game that is just gonna bore you or it's just not your style, then obviously you should probably pass on it. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Is this a type of game that you've played before? Do you like text-based games? Have you never played text-based games? Can you say text-based games 3 times fast? Either way, just let me know what your thoughts are down below. Also, let me know whatever games you're playing or what games you're excited for. We've got a lot coming up. There were so many great indies that came out in just the last couple weeks that I'm trying to catch up on. So please think about liking and subscribing. There's going to be a ton of videos coming out on this channel. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Love each and every one of you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.